Welcome to BAM Fight Club podcast. This is episode number 2. We are previewing the upcoming pay-per-view UFC 270 Ngannou vs. Gane, which will be airing on January 22nd. Early prelims starting at 3 p.m., pay-per-view starting at 7. Early prelims and the prelims will be on ESPN+. I'm Colby Callahan, and this is Fernando Juarez. First fight on the card is Kay Hansen vs. Jasmine Jasudavicius. I can't even say it. Fern, help me out here.
Jasudavicius.
All right.
Vicious.
What he said. And Kay Hansen's coming in as a favorite at negative 240. Jasmine's coming in at a plus 200. And Fern, how did you break this fight down?
I can see why Hansen is the favorite in this fight. She hasn't fought in a while. Last fought in November 2020. She openly disagreed with the outcome of that fight. She lost by decision. From what I saw, she has great submissions. A lot of her victories are from armbar or guillotine. Great takedowns. Last fight, she was outlanded in total strikes, but she had a great takedown and almost submission in round 2. Ducked under a heavy overhand right, shot in, took the back, and transitioned to the rear naked from the back position, and then transitioned into an armbar. So she puts together her attacks very well, especially her ground attacks. Her last fight, she did have a greater takedown percentage, greater significant strikes, and total strike percentage, but her opponent landed more strikes. From what I see, she just has great wrestling and great ground, and put it together very well. Like I mentioned, went from takedown to taking the back, went rear naked choke, and then as her opponent turned to get out of the rear naked, she went to the armbar, and it was so smooth, within seconds. Jasudavicius, or Vicious, whatever warrior ass name that is Dana White Contender Series fighter. 6-1 in her is her record. Her last 3 fights were decisions, 2 wins, 1 loss. She is known as a striker, but her last fight, she was going for takedowns. And I think she faced somebody who had just as good a striking, if not better. She was actually forced to strike walking backwards a lot of the fight. To the point where people, the commentators and everyone thought that she lost because she was walking backwards. But I saw it as her obviously avoiding pressure, but she was landing more combinations. She was able to strike walking back, was her strength in her last fight, because the other fighter just didn't string together multiple punches like that. But I think with another fighter, it's going to get her in trouble. You don't ever want to fight on the back foot as much as she did. She started strong, clearly round one in that fight, but faded into the later rounds where, again, it looked like she was on the losing end. So for this fight, my pick is going to be Hansen. Even though she has the layoff, her forward pressure and Jasudavicius, likelihood to walk backwards is going to lead to her taken down. You can't walk backwards with a wrestler. You're going to get caught off balance. And Jasudavicius threw tons of head kicks and stuff like that. Stuff that I think is going to leave her open for Hansen this fight.
Okay, and it looks like is Hansen going up a weight class for this fight? It looks like she was shown on ESPN as a 115-pounder. Jasmine is a 125-pounder. So it looks like Jasmine's got 5 inches on height, 5 inches on reach, and might be a heavier fighter. So that might be interesting in terms of giving Jasmine maybe a little bit of size advantage. But like you said, if Jasmine's going to be going backwards, I think a lot of that size advantage would be kind of taken away.
Yeah, and she throws a lot of high kicks, and against her already being taller, I could see that's happened in a couple fights I've seen when they're taller and they throw head kicks, and the other person just ducks under them and shoots. And multiple inch height and reach advantages. If she can keep her pressure going forward, yeah, she'll be able to keep her back there. If she's walking backward, to me, that's just going to negate any reach advantage she has.
Yeah, and I like Kay in this fight as well. Jasmine coming off the Contender Series, like you'd mentioned, not able to finish her opponent there, and also not able to finish her last two opponents. Well, she lost 3 fights ago. Her last TKO was 4 fights ago in CFFC, 81 in Cage Fury, which is interesting. But I think Kay's gonna be looking good in this fight.